Hello everyone, this is DD1 here, and today I have a very special item to show to you. So this item is not released. It is called the KD 6-foot life-size basic monster. And it is the one in the middle. So in this series of videos I've done on this channel before, you've seen a couple of these guys. You've seen the replica creature or brain monster on the left. You've seen the party monster on the right, but you've not really seen this guy in the middle here. I did have him in my display video, and a couple people did take notice of that. However, I've never done a video explicitly showing him and what he does. So that is for this video. I also am doing a video that's showing all three of these guys, and all three of them going. But that is going to be separate from this. So this is just a video purely on the basic monster here. Now, why is he called basic monster? Well, it's mainly because he was going to cost a little bit less to make. Now, some of you by now already know the situation where the very first character that was done was the creature or brain monster on the left. It was for Sam's Club. They decided it was too expensive, so they had Walmart carry the party monster, which is similar in ways, but it has less to it. The brain monster on the left has more bells and whistles to it than the party monster on the right. The brain monster, on top of all of his stuff he already does, has a bunch of lights and it has arm movement and a more complicated costume. The party monster still blinks his eyes, moves his mouth and moves his head, but he doesn't have the lights and he does not move his arms. And LEDs did cost a little more back in the day, 2005, than they do now. And in the middle here, we have an item that was for 2006. So ultimately, Party Monster was for 2005, Brain Monster was released in 2006, and then again in 2007. But for 2006, Gemmy started to make a prototype of the basic monster. So, a few things to point out. He does not have eye movement or blinking, but he has the mouth movement and the head turn. So that made it cost a bit less to make. However, there are lights in the eyes, and none of these monsters in any stage in production had lights in their eyes. They used this head for the lobotomy candy bowl, for the large and small spirit balls, and those had lights in the eyes, but never the life sizes. So it's really cool to see a life-size monster here with the lights in the eyes. On top of that, a really big detail that makes this guy pretty unique is his base. If you're familiar with the deluxe hyper-realistic Santa I've shown on the channel, this has the same base as that. However, they modified it to work with the slightly smaller shoes. And this guy is so crazy because if you look at him from the side, it looks like he is just standing there with no support besides his own 2 feet, which is just so cool. And I'm kind of surprised that no companies have ever really tried something similar. I know with the metal bases, you kind of can disguise that there's a base at all when it's in grass and stuff, but nothing like this exactly. And believe it or not, he is pretty stable. If you push on him a little bit, he won't just fall over right away. Same with the Santa, and the Santa is like crazily proportioned. But this guy is just really unique. I know I've said that, but it can't be said enough. And something else that's really cool about this guy is his stance, because not only does he have a Freddy Krueger body shell, which was only used on Freddy Krueger, he also has the angled head turn mech like Freddy Krueger does. And that was never used in any other produced life sizes. And you can see that his posture is just really different. He has a longer neck than Party Monster because it's sticking out. And it really affects how he looks. So if you think this looks familiar, that's because it's like the Brain Monster stock photo, because that Brain Monster had the same deal with the Freddy Krueger head mech, where it's angled forward. And the Freddy Krueger body shell is just different overall. You know, it's slimmer. It's just different. It's kind of hard to describe all the differences. But that's why he looks so different in the body shape than like the Party Monster there. And what they did in the base, unlike with Santa, is they treat it like a flat bass dancing Santa or flat bass pirate skeleton dancer, where they put all the little gizmos in the bass here. So you can see they put the motion sensor there, and then they have volume control, they have the switch, they have mic, aux, and the adapter. None of these are labeled at all, so it's really a guessing game if you have no idea what Gemmy things are and you get this. The guy I got this from didn't really know anything about it, and he had a 12 volt plugged into it, and it takes a 9 volt, and that's very common. But I can't actually blame the guy here, because unlike times where it says like really explicitly takes 9 volt or 6 volt, it actually said nothing. So I do not blame him for sticking the 12 volt on there, because it is a very common adapter. And this was very difficult to get. I had to really work hard to get this. There was some competition, and I had to drive a good bit, but I was semi nearby conveniently at the time, so that worked out. But that was quite the process, but it was all worth it for what I ended up having to pay, and just the agony in trying to get this thing. And I still don't know who else was trying to get this. If it was one of you, comment down below. I'm sorry, but it is in a good place, and it's part of the private museum right now, which is just in the room over there. But that's about it I have to say about this guy. You'll be seeing more about him in the development story video on these monsters that I probably would not have put out yet by the time I upload this video, but maybe I did. So you'll see that, you know, he was at some point a product for Lowe's, which is why I found him where I did. I found him like an hour 20 away from the Lowe's headquarters. So this guy was sent to Lowe's as a sample. And at one point he had a flat bass, and a very early one had a Party Monster outfit. So it's basically Party Monster, but on that bass. So that's about it for this guy, aside from demoing him. Do a few more close-up looks. You can see his teeth there, not painted the best compared to Party Monster. There is an eye mech in there, but it's not wired up. He has no staples on the head. There is no evidence of there ever being some, but on all of the other samples I have documented of this guy, he has staples, so that's really interesting. It makes me think this is one of the last samples ever sent out. What else? The line is a bit different. You can see it's really thick there, and this it's thinner, and it's actually traced. I don't know if that shows up on camera or not. The outfit is a really thick material. The board is located up here in his upper back instead of in the base. This is like the same material used on Produce Brain Monster's shirt. He has actual pockets like Party Monster. He has the chains like Party Monster. The pants are not painted like they are in Party Monster. But that's really about it. Unfortunately, this guy did not come with a Try Me button. They started that with production 2006. And every other phrase, he sings Monster Mash. So I'm going to, for your sanity, I'm going to edit Monster Mash out between the phrases. But I will play all of the phrases for you so you can see them on this guy in action. Without further ado, let's get a look at him.
Why you look at me like that? No hurt you, why? Unless...
And now we will play the song.
From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It got on in a flash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included the Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash.
So the phrase is, I'm just going to demo it from back here on the stand. We'll move this a little closer. It shows up better. Yeah, he's only motion activated too, I forgot that.
You here? Come, may look at you. Come closer! Eat? You bring sweet treat for I want more treat now! What happened to me? Can't remember. Drill, saw, head, no! No, not again! Why you look at me like that? No hurt you, why? Unless... From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included the Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash.
Yeah, those are all the phrases for Basic Monster. He's a really neat piece. Would be cool if he had like a button on the wrist or something like a prototype Donna does or the Beheaded Bride, just so you could skip through the song. And one thing I do like better about Brain Monster versus both of these guys is that he plays 2 phrases in a row each time before he plays Monster Mash, and there's the button to skip Monster Mash if you don't feel like listening to it. That's just part of the process with the 2005 items with life sizes, where if it's not a 5-foot character and it's a 6-foot character, you just can't skip. There's a button function on the board, but they hadn't come up with the idea of let's put a button on the base yet. That's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.